Welcome, everybody, to Cinema Royale. I am Travis Thompson of PunchDrunkCritics.com. And joining me today, as you can see right above me, is my man Julian Lytle. What's up, Julian?
What's going on?
Not much, man. We are here, as you can probably tell from my background, we're here to talk about Dragon Ball Superhero. This is the latest film in the Dragon Ball Z saga. Now, Julian, I am not I am not as into Dragon Ball as a lot of other people. I was into it fairly early on, and then I kind of fell out of it. And I get occasional updates from friends who still watch it and watch it all the way through. But it seems like lately I've watched all of the recent movies. Like when a movie comes out, I watch it, even if I don't watch it watch the show on a regular basis. And watching this one, I was excited because the first thing I see is the Red Ribbon Army, who I remember and I like, and their story is pretty simple. The story for the movie overall is actually pretty simple and easy to follow, even if you're not like a serious Dragon Ball Z fan. You know, the Red Ribbon Army comes back. They convince the grandfather, I think the guy who created Red Ribbon Army, to create new androids.
The grandson, Dr. Hedo.
Yeah, to create two new androids who see themselves as superheroes. And ultimately, there is, because it's Dragon Ball Z, there is an ultimate android that they fight at the end, Cell Max. This one is a lot of fun, man. And it reminded me that Dragon Ball, even when it's like wrapped up, like it's basically like 80 minutes of fighting for the most part, but there's still moments of a lot of humor in it. That I think is the thing that I think endears me to it still, even if I don't get to watch it as often as I like to.
Yeah, being that like the show Super itself maybe ended like 4 or 5 years ago at this point. Yeah, the last thing was Broly, which was after the show.
And we got to see a little bit of Broly,
and they continued that thread. I didn't expect it. Broly and Chilai and I think Lemon or whatever was living on this little asteroid planet, and then
we got to see my favorite new character too, Beerus. Beerus is my favorite character.
The Morris Day of Dragon Ball. He's the god of destruction. Is one of the best. Is the best new character. Him and Whis are the best new characters of modern rebirth Toriyama Dragon Ball. I was like, he's never not funny.
Didn't they debut like in like the movie from a few years ago?
Battle from the Gods. It's almost 10 years ago.
You're right. And that was the one I saw. I saw that one when he first showed up, and I was like, and he's been my favorite ever since.
Oh yeah, because he's amazing. Like he's a threat, but it's just like if Bulma just gives him like some random exquisite dish, it's like, I'm just not mad no more. It's like, oh, is this shrimp scampi? Okay, I'm good.
I know. Oh, we got ice cream. Oh, okay.
It's like, oh, you can defeat him with Ben and Jerry's. He's like, I'm just not even mad now.
I know. And in this one, we got to find out what his taste in women too, which
is unexpected.
I thought was pretty funny.
He's like, oh man, him and Broly gonna have a fight. Like, oh no, love triangle.
But it was funny the way he freaked out when Broly showed up. Like what is he doing here?
He's an amazing character because it's like, hey, Broly does a lot, but it's like Beerus isn't scared, but it's like, oh, he gonna mess my house up. Right. He gonna make a mess. Why'd you bring this ruffian in my house?
This is the little stuff that makes me like Dragon Ball. It's this stuff. This stuff is the stuff I like.
The stuff from like classic original pre-Z Dragon Ball, when it was like had the funny stuff, like Master Roshi sending little Krillin and little Goku with bottles on their head, run up and down, back and forth.
Exactly. What'd you think of the story overall in this?
I really like this story because I think it ties into the zeitgeist of like superhero media taking over like the global pop culture thing. It ties to like tokusatsu stuff, like stuff I like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai and a little bit of Ultraman. And it wraps into like the constant question is like, Gohan was supposed to be the guy, but like he's not the guy. And then like if you care much about Dragon Ball, it's like his mom didn't want him to fight anyway. So he's kind of living in what his mom wanted him to do, which is be an academic and study hard. But even though he did that, it still ended up being like his dad, because it's like he's like, "Oh, Piccolo, can you pick a pen from school? I gotta finish this." And
Yeah.
Piccolo's like, "Oh, you gotta trade. You gotta hold up your responsibilities.
Yeah.
You and Vidal, you gotta do what you're supposed to do." And I love Grandpa. Grandpa Piccolo is such so good to see.
Piccolo is very front and center in this in
It's his
this.
movie. It's really his movie.
It is kind of his movie. He gets a serious upgrade in powers at one point too, in the movie, a couple times in this movie as well. I have not seen Piccolo like this in a long time, so it was kind of new to me, seeing him be this way. But I liked it though because it used to be when I would like pop into to Dragon Ball, it'd be always be for an episode where Piccolo would get his ass whooped. So so it's kind of good to see him not necessarily
lose. Yeah, it was like a certain point where everybody got stronger than him. It was just like,
that's kind of what it was. It was like everybody had surpassed him, so it's kind of like, well, what's Piccolo here for?
Yeah, it's just that he's smarter than mostly everybody. Like he's like if this was basketball, he's Doc Rivers. Like he can't play, but boy, can he coach.
Right.
Or, I know there's a football equivalent in there, you know. But like, yeah, like I'm seeing Piccolo get ready to, you know, get another upgrade because the last time he got an upgrade was when he fought 17, 28 years ago.
Wow.
You know, real lifetime time. It was like, oh, look, he could fight 17, and then he beat 17, and 17 got slurped up by Cell. It's just like, nope, kid.
Which I expected to see something similar to that happen in this. I was actually surprised when we didn't get some absorption going on in this one. That kind of shocked me.
It feels like what they did in this movie is like, I don't know if you watched the old Dragon Ball movies, but like the second Broly movie or the third one when it was Bio Broly, he was just like this genetic monster that was made from the cells of Broly, and like Goten and Trunks and Gohan had to beat him. That's what Cell Max feels like. It was like an incomplete Cell, but it's like the threat of Cell again. Like, oh no, he was, and it's just like he just wasn't complete. So and that they just left 17 out of it. It's like, oh, 17's with his kids and protecting the forest. Yeah, we got 18 in her.
18 though. Yeah, you got 18 there. We got some Krillin action in there too.
Oh, man, the strongest policeman. Krillin now. The strongest. I love it because it's like Krillin, you can't do nothing, but he has two techniques that always work: solar flare and destructo disc. No matter what, them joints is effective.
Which came in handy in this one too.
Trunks, like 14-year-old Trunks and Goten, you know, a little bit taller now.
Yep, got a little bit of Trunks, Goten. We got some merge action, which didn't play out quite as they were expecting.
They messed up. I love when you see the messed up fusion though, like fat one or the skinny one. I was like, either way, it's gonna be funny. And
see, stuff like that caught me off guard because I remember that I know they can merge. So seeing them merge and then like fuck it up,
you missed the mess ups, the mess up forms, and they kept the fact that Krillin was like, this is frustrated, like you didn't listen to the lessons.
As someone who probably knows this stuff a little bit more better than I do, how does this story fit overall? Like, does this come across to you as an important chapter in Dragon Ball, or kind of just something like, you could probably.
Well, the thing is now, ever since Toriyama's come back to the franchise, is unlike all the movies you got in the 90s, was like, oh, this movie's cool, and the Super 17 this and Android 13 is like, yo, none of that counted in the story. All the new movies count, they're canon, so that's always like, this is actually what happens in the story. So like at least the first two, Battle of the Gods and Resurrection, the Return of Frieza, got reanimated when they made the Dragon Ball Super anime series. They just redid them entirely. So instead of doing that, you get these movies. So if you really care about the story of Dragon Ball, like all of it is important, even if it's not, the stakes aren't super big and they're not saving all of creation or whatever. Like, we get some forward momentum. We get to find out what Bulma's doing with Dragon Balls, and Goku is still training. And I'm one of the people who like literally I read the manga every month. So there's all other stuff that's happening, just like you may have to figure out where does it fit in with the manga story in the movie, but in the end, you just like, oh yeah, they met Broly last movie. Oh, they befriended Broly this time, and we got to train him so he doesn't just hulk out and break everything. So it's like, oh, okay. So I guess the next movie we might get some more Broly. They might fight some other person might come back. It had a bunch of nice little Easter eggs, like when they showed Dr. Hedo parents who was the children of Dr. Gerald. It was like, oh, like that's the character from Dragon Ball Fighters.
There's a lot of Hercule talk in this too.
It's Hercule.
But it was funny though, because I remember Hercule being lame.
He is, but to the world,
he's the hero. Because they were talking about him like he was tight.
Yeah, I love it. Laugh. It's the greatest kayfabe in all of fiction. Like the entire world think he saved them twice. Like the world think that he stopped Cell, and the world think that he stopped Boo.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, I love it because I love it the fact that they merged the Japanese name and the American name because you know they didn't want to call him Mr. Satan back in the days. Like, the parents back in the 90s be like, but now just Hercule Satan. It was like, he's the strongest man in the world. We got to watch out. We can't, can't get him on the radar.
Oh man, I feel like Dragon Ball is like one of the hardest things to like if you're like trying to come at it as a new fan. It's like one of the hardest things to just kind of break into. Am I right? Seems intimidating.
I would say it's just as intimidating maybe as like any of the, let's say, our superhero media, except there's no reboots. And if you want to read it, you could just go get the book that says #1 on it and just read it in order to the end, or you can watch the show. But even I think with Dragon Ball, they do enough things to like make it easy to catch up. Like you could play that game, Dragon Ball Kakarot, which just does the whole story of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I remember that.
You just want to wait like 15 hours after you finish the game. They even remake cutscenes on the major parts. It's like, okay, you know the story.
Yeah,
it's not One Piece. Now, One Piece is a journey. One Piece is I don't know how people get into One Piece, but I'll be trying. But Dragon Ball, it's long, but it's old enough that people can still. And the movie, you saw the movie kind of catches you up. Like, oh, you didn't watch Dragon Ball?
I felt like I knew what was going on as I was watching it. I didn't feel. That's what I was saying. I like kind of the simpler story in this one. I didn't feel as if I was lost. Like I was like, okay, I remember these characters, and so I'm good. Like I'm good here. Like as soon as I saw the Red Ribbon Army, I was like, okay, I'm into it.
Yeah. And they tell you everything you need to know. It's like the first 5 minutes is like, hey, when Goku was a kid, he beat up this Red Ribbon Army people. Yeah. And then when he got older, they came back with Dr. Gero and some androids. Yeah. And then Cell happened, and then Gohan beat that. And then when they're talking, it's like, yo, we did the multiversal tournament, and Jiren was really strong. And it's like, okay, you up to speed. You kind of know what's going on.
I feel like Dragon Ball is due for kind of like not like a renaissance or anything. It probably doesn't need that, but between this movie coming out now, because we only get them every few years, and like Dragon Ball Fighters getting like rollback netcode, which is like a game changer for that game because I hated playing the online in that game. But that is like so crucial, and I think
Fortnite. Don't forget Fortnite this week.
That's true.
You can just make your character look like Goku in them and shoot people for some reason. But
yeah. So it seems like Dragon Ball is it's kind of being buzzed about again, like anew.
Yeah, man. It's got old enough to have nostalgia, and it also is like it still has new stuff that people bring in. Yeah. It turns 40 in like 2 years.
It's crazy.
So, like for most of us in the West wouldn't even think about that because we didn't even get it to like the mid 90s.
Yeah,
it was like, it was already like almost like people don't even know like the anime was almost done by the time we got like episode 1.
Yeah,
and it's like, that joint been going on forever. Toriyama been doing this whole daggone adult life in between other amazing things like Dragon Warrior and Chrono Trigger and everything else. But
How many
I don't know.
how many upgrades can these guys get?
Yo, you don't there's even more. They didn't even show some of the stuff they can do. Ultra ego, pure ultra instinct. We have no idea.
It's nuts.
They haven't even learned all the God key yet. We got more movies we can get tracked.
That's true. It is true. And I have a feeling this one because there's been a lot of people buzzing about this movie, like excited to see it. Yeah, I think this one's probably going to be another hit. The Dragon Ball Z movies do really good here.
Yeah, I think it's going to make a lot of money. I think it's going to make more money in the West and in like South America or the West in general than it will in Japan, because in Japan it has more competition. Like One Piece got a movie out. There's another big time movie coming out. I think Shin Ultraman is still out. But over here in our doldrums of nothingness of August and September.
Yeah.
Oh man, like
I agree.
25 million, I bet. Easy.
I can see
We hungry.
Definitely see that. I can definitely see that. Well, Julian, this has been a lot of fun talking Dragon Ball superhero with you, man. Tell everybody where they can find your stuff at.
I write reviews on adobe.com. Occasionally I pitch hit, when Travis asked me to on some anime or something.
I almost asked you to do this one.
Hey, I did
ask you to do this one, but
it was, the backstory on me seeing this movie was not easy. And social media, I'm Julian Lytle on everything. And yeah, that's it. You might see me post pictures of my Dragon Ball figures.
I think get some photos of us playing Dragon Ball Fighters or something. That'd be fun.
Oh man, what?
Yeah,
Android 21 with the lab coat. Let's go.
Well, everybody, thanks again for tuning into Cinema Royale. That is us talking about Dragon Ball superhero. Opens in theaters this weekend on the 19th. And thanks again. I'm Travis Hobson. This has been Cinema Royale. You can find me every day at punchdrugcritics.com. And of course, a whole bunch of other places too, which I'm not going to list. Thanks again, everybody. I will see you next time. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.